Here are your General Hospital spoilers for Friday, January 9th, 26. Despite a semi-good day in court, Drew wears his anger and insanity on his sleeve. He nearly blew the case for Alexis with his unhinged courtroom performance, showing the voters of Port Charles who he really is once again. Willow, the woman who shot him, may have saved herself with her Oscar-worthy performance on the stand, but Drew still needs to be mean because it's apparently his favorite pastime. While Jason and Carly talk about the trial at the Port Charles Grill and worry for Michael, Drew spots them and announces that it's their turn to grovel. He is sure Michael will go to jail instead of Willow, so he wants to see their pain. Will Drew cause a scene? Our bets are on yes. As for Michael, he worries about what will happen to him next as he debriefs with Jacinda. Will she really leave town? Now that Kai and Trina realize that the person on trial is the person who committed the crime, they have to decide what to do with their new information. They could sit on it and hope that the jury comes back with a guilty verdict, or they can go to the police. However, they fear what could happen to them since they haven't come forward as witnesses yet. Will they tell Alexis the truth, hoping she will know what to do? That would leave Alexis in quite a bind, as Scout is on the mind. Alexis might soon have to decide whether to throw her case and lose access to Scout and allow a child abuser or an attempted murderess to raise her granddaughter. But first, she has to deal with Tracy. Her frenemy is still smarting over being duped in court. She tells Tracy that she fell for a bluff and that there's nothing she can do. However, Tracy wants to know who tipped off Alexis to the truth. If only Alexis knew. General Hospital spoilers hint that Willow Kane and Michael Corinthos' custody battle may soon be back on. Will this determined mom score the upper hand after her trial victory? There have definitely been some ups and downs when it comes to Willow's case, but it's looking like Alexis Davis will pull off a win in the end. Willow may breathe a sigh of relief if the jury ultimately delivers a not guilty verdict. Once Willow is formally acquitted, she can concentrate on the visitation hearing that's coming up. Of course, Drew Kane is hoping that by then, Michael will be behind bars and Willow will get awarded full custody instead. Based on GH preview spoilers for 2026, it looks like Michael will find himself under more police scrutiny after all the new details that have come out in court. Michael's destroyed alibi was a big deal that'll inevitably lead to more of an investigation. After Willow presumably gets off the hook, she may feel like things are on the upswing in her life. Meanwhile, Michael's worst fears about losing his children could become even more of a reality. If Willow walks out of that courtroom a free woman, she may corner Michael and get smug about what's coming next. Willow's nerves may subside a bit and leave her feeling like this is only the beginning of reclaiming her life, including her role as a mom. GH fans may see a more confident version of Willow who's ready to fight Michael with everything she's got. If Willow pulled the trigger and feels like she got away with attempted murder, that could give her a reason to think she can accomplish anything. Even if Michael doesn't go to prison like Drew's counting on, he's going to have plenty of police suspicions swirling around him. Michael also used an escort to give the cops a fake story, so that's not going to do him any favors when it comes to keeping custody of his children. The corrupt judge bribery situation could also come to light and become a factor in Willow getting a chance at full custody of Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos. You can bet Willow will do everything in her power to get her kids back, so Michael will have growing concerns about Amelia and Wiley being stripped away from him. General Hospital spoilers say Willow and Michael's custody feud will come with more curveballs, so stick with us for updates on any big news that'll affect things in court. Here is your General Hospital recap for Thursday, January 8th, 2026. When Gio opened the door to leave Sonny's house, he found Christina standing there. She noted that he seemed to be in a rush to get somewhere. Christina mentioned the violin performance on Boxing Day, but Gio said he wasn't sure when he'd play again. He thanked Sonny for the violin. Sonny said he would figure things out about his love for music eventually. After Gio left, Christina told Sonny she was there to get her tablet, but she was then headed to the courthouse to support Michael. Christina feared that Alexis was building a case to go after Michael. Sonny explained that Alexis was using a legal tactic. It may have been hard to watch, but she wasn't prosecuting Michael. Kai and Trina met up in the courthouse halls. Trina assured Kai that Gio was on his way to the Quartermains to deal with Wiley's ringtone. "We can't mess this up. "This may be our last chance to identify who Willow's shooter is before it's too late," she said. When Dante encountered Brooklyn in the Q foyer, he mentioned that it felt like she'd been avoiding him. Brooklyn admitted that she had been avoiding him. She was still upset that he had suspended Chase. Dante said that he didn't want to do it, so Brooklyn told him to fix it. Dante said that he couldn't do that until Internal Affairs had finished their investigation. "I can't agree with his methods, but I can't say that he was wrong about Willow," Dante admitted. He added that he and Chase both had a hard time being objective. "Chase's blind spot is Willow, and mine is Michael," Dante said. Gio walked in and overheard his parents talking. He was surprised to hear that Dante thought it was possible that Michael set Willow up. Dante spotted Gio and stopped the conversation. Gio claimed he was there to check on Wiley. Brooklyn went to find Wiley, so Gio asked Dante if there was really a chance that Michael set up Willow. Dante said they'd have to wait until the jury decided before leaving. Brooklyn soon set Wiley and Gio up with video games in the solarium. Wiley asked for his phone. Brooklyn whispered to Gio that Wiley had a kid-friendly phone he could use to call his parents in emergencies. Gio told Brooklyn about Sunny making chicken piccata, so she left to cook with Sunny. In the courtroom, Drew took the stand and was reminded that he was still under oath. "My wife, Willow Kane, has been falsely accused of shooting me, and I am here to set the record straight," Drew stated. Alexis took Drew through what happened after Drew told Michael about kissing Willow. He included Jason's election night attack, as well as every other thing Drew thinks Michael initiated as a result of Drew's affair with Michael's wife. He told the jury that Michael sent Jason to attack him after secretly recording him and Willow having sex. Alexis asked Drew to state Jason's occupation. When he said hitman, Justine objected. Alexis then submitted a big fat folder outlining Jason's criminal history. Justine's subsequent objection was sustained. When Alexis asked if Michael had ever assaulted him, Drew offered an emphatic, "Yes. He punched me in the face at the Metro Court Hotel." Justine then recalled hearing Drew blackmail Sunny with the knowledge of Michael's assault, which he seemed to instigate. Drew also told the jury that on the night he was shot, he had told Carly that he and Willow had reunited. Justine then took her chance to cross-examine. She asked about Drew and Michael's professional relationship at Aurora. He admitted that they were once close, but Michael took his company from Drew after the affair with Willow came to light. "Congressman, did you seduce your nephew's wife?" Justine asked. Drew began to lose it right then and there, claiming that wasn't what happened. "Did you have sex with the defendant on the floor of your child's nursery playroom while the defendant was still married to Mr. Corinthos?" she asked. Drew had to say yes, but he claimed he and Willow fell in love. Drew pointed his finger in Justine's face, saying, "That is a lie." When she cited the judge's reason for Willow losing custody was her relationship with Drew. Justine also brought up the $1 million wire transfer receipt in his safe to Judge Herron. Drew claimed it was fake. "It was clearly a setup. Why would I want my wife to lose her children?" Drew asked. He then pointed at Michael and said that he put it there. Drew began screaming that he didn't need any evidence for his accusation. He began pointing and shouting and looked like he might start foaming at the mouth. "Michael takes everything. He took my company. He took Wiley and Amelia. He turned my whole family against me," Drew yelled. Justine then brought up Monica's injunction against him using the Q name. That is when Drew lost it completely and proclaimed himself to be Alan's son. Willow begged Alexis to put a stop to this, but Alexis told her to shush. "I'm a Navy SEAL! I'm a patriot!" he screamed. He then looked right at Michael and seethed, "What you have, you don't deserve, and I take one thing from you, and you turn into a homicidal maniac and put 2 bullets in my back. You are going to rot in prison, and my wife and I are going to take our kids back home," he screamed. "No further questions, Your Honor," a smug Justine said. The judge called a recess, but as Drew stood up, Nina warned him not to go anywhere near Willow. Nina asked Alexis how badly Drew screwed the case up. "He was unhinged," Alexis spat. She told Willow that she was the only hope. She had to testify. In the hall, Trina and Kai heard Wiley call Michael, But Twinkle Twinkle Little Star wasn't his ringtone. Wiley asked for Michael's permission to play Tron. Michael told Gio it was okay. Michael hung up and said he got that ringtone when he was in Germany. Kai and Trina made note of that. Back in the courtroom, Willow was sworn in. Alexis asked her about the gun. Willow claimed she didn't take one or place one in a drawer at Liz's house. She told the jury about the time that she found Michael alone at Elizabeth's house. She explained that Michael wanted them to go to therapy, which she did the next day. "I was arrested for shooting Drew in front of my children," she said. Willow said that she believed that the gun was planted. She didn't want to believe Michael planted it, but she knew she didn't shoot Drew and knew he didn't want her to be with her children. She also told the court that she thought Michael shot Drew and framed her. Willow regaled the tale of how she and Drew grew close, falsely stating once again that Drew saved her life when he flew home on a plane from Greenland with Liesl. He was always there for her, so she didn't have a choice but to fall in love with him. Alexis asked if Michael made any effort for Willow to see the kids right after she dumped Drew at the altar. Willow said he had not, but she was doing everything she could to get Michael to allow her visitation. Willow claimed she reunited with Drew out of love. She claimed that is why Drew lost it on the stand. He loved her and couldn't help himself. She said she was in court at that moment because it was what Michael wanted. When Justine cross-examined, she asked if Drew cost Willow her kids. "Drew loves my children. He promised me that we would fight for them together, and I know that we will," Willow said. Justine showed Willow a picture of the gun, and Willow recalled taking it from the lockbox in Edward's study. She lied and emphatically said she never touched the weapon. Justine asked about where Willow was when Drew was shot. She gave the same story about driving around in the rain after learning Judge Heron had been killed. She was just too upset to work and had to leave General Hospital. She remembered her tears and hysterics, but claimed she didn't remember where she went. Willow claimed she didn't stop anywhere as she flashed back to taking the gun from her glove box. Justine then asked if her life had improved since Drew Kane entered it. Willow lied again and said, "My life isn't perfect. I haven't made perfect choices, but I do love Drew, and he is the only person I trust with my children," she said. "Mrs. Kane, what would you do for your children?" Justine asked. Willow remembered exactly what she did. She walked into Drew's living room and shot him in the back. Then, she pumped another bullet into him as he lay on the floor for good measure. "Anything. I would do anything for my children," she said. Willow left the stand as the court recessed. Back at the Q house, Gio went to get Wiley cookies, so Wiley called his mom. Trina and Kai heard the ringtone and knew who shot Drew. Willow picked up, excited talk to Wiley, as Kai and Trina looked at her in disbelief. General Hospital spoilers hint that Drew Kane's romantic getaway plans may go wrong. Will Drew finally remember that Willow Kane pulled the trigger and kick off a dramatic showdown? Now that the show's offered confirmation on Willow being Drew's shooter, the countdown is on when it comes to Drew's memory flood. There'll inevitably come a point when Drew has total recall and realizes his beloved wife really did commit the crime. Of course, GH writers will want to wait and make sure the timing is perfect. It's better right now if Drew wholeheartedly believes in Willow's innocence, and he certainly seems to based on his passionate defense of her in court. Willow was taken aback over the judge bribery evidence that ADA Justine Turner presented in court. However, Drew blamed Michael Corinthos for framing him, and isn't too far off since Sonny Corinthos had Brick plant the proof instead. It was Gen Z Sidwell who actually bribed Judge Heron, so we'll see if Willow gets updates on that at some point. Regardless, it's better for the story if Willow stands by Drew, or at least pretends to. It makes more sense for Drew to believe his marriage is solid and happy since a devastating blow is coming. February sweeps seems like a great time for Drew to finally experience total recall. That may be when Drew remembers something important, like hearing Willow's ringtone for Wiley Corinthos in the house that night. Drew didn't react to hearing that ringtone when Wiley called Willow in the January 8th episode, but that doesn't mean he won't react to it at a later date. Then again, there could be some other memory trigger that'll open the floodgates for Drew, and finally, help him realize Willow is the true shooter. By then, Willow may be fully acquitted. Drew might even plan a romantic getaway to celebrate, perhaps on Valentine's Day, since that'll be here before you know it. It's easy to imagine a fierce face-off happening and ruining Drew's plans for a sizzling weekend trip or something along those lines. Regardless, General Hospital spoilers say Drew will ultimately discover some shocking news when it comes to Willow and what she's been hiding. General Hospital spoilers hint that Jack Brennan may discover Anna Devane's WSB mission is bogus. Will Brennan kick off a search for Emma Scorpio Drake's grandma once he realizes she's missing? In the January 5th episode, Brennan was surprised when Emma came to him for help. Emma struggled to fight back tears and explained that she hadn't actually spoken to Anna since Halloween. Brennan seemed genuinely concerned over that news and pushed for more information. Although Emma eventually got a voicemail and a photo sent from a blocked number, she's desperate to talk to Anna, even if it's just for a few minutes. Of course, GH fans know there's a reason why Anna hasn't been in touch. Anna isn't off on some top-secret WSB mission like Emma and Brennan currently believe. In reality, Anna is stuck in captivity on Spoon Island, so Jen Sidwell is behind her hostage stint. Pascal has been busy babysitting their prisoner, but Anna isn't giving up on finding a way out of this mess. As for Brennan, he's already been making some phone calls and digging for more details about that picture of Anna. It probably won't be long until Brennan discovers Anna's WSB mission is phony, and that someone has gone to great lengths to make it seem like she's somewhere she isn't. Brennan may think back to the voicemail Anna left for him and realize he got duped too. Anna's messages were presumably created with the help of AI to deceive Brennan and Emma about her whereabouts. Once Brennan realizes Anna is in trouble, he may kick off an urgent search for her. Brennan may also start speculating about who might be behind Anna's disappearance and why. Will Sidwell land on Brennan's list of suspects? Brennan might worry that Sidwell snatched Anna up because she was getting too close to the truth about Caesar Faison's final project. Whatever the case, Brennan will do some investigating and may try to track Anna down once he finds out she's truly disappeared. However, Sidwell will have a few tricks up his sleeve. There'll apparently be more misdirection when it comes to Anna's location, so that could lead to a hunt for her in all the wrong places. General Hospital spoilers say Anna's rescue won't go according to plan, so stay tuned for updates on the disturbing twists ahead for her loved ones. Did she or didn't she? That has been the question on General Hospital fans' minds for months, as Port Charles has tried to figure out just who shot that smarmy politician, Drew Kane. Willow was arrested for the crime last fall, but everyone has wondered, did she really do it? Soap Central has said it was Willow all along, and now the audience, and Kai and Trina, know. According to Soap Opera Digest, GH actors were playing their own guessing game, trying to figure out who shot Drew. When the initial scenes were taped last summer, the show used a decoy as the shadowy figure who pumped 2 bullets into the congressman's back. That was meant to preserve secrecy on the set, and it worked. Caitlin McMullen didn't even know that her character was the culprit until just before the trial scenes were shot. I kind of suspected. I always knew that it was a strong possibility, but I didn't know for sure until a little birdie, executive producer Frank Valentini, whispered in my ear, McMullen told Digest. He said, "You know you shot him, right?" I was like, "No!" There was a brief moment of surprise, because we'd all been wondering for so long, and then I thought, okay, great, this is going to be crazy, but really fun. It's been clear since last summer that there is something very wrong with Willow. After all, she stalked an infant and ran baby and mama out of town. Then, she shot the man she threw it all away for in the back. While McMullen can't relate, she can try to find her character's motivations. I can't justify what she did, but I can at least try to sympathize with where the character was at that point, the actress said. And that's been a cool challenge, to try to get into the mind of someone who might be a little bit out of their mind. When it came time for Willow to take the stand in her own defense, McMullen worked with acting coach and former soap star Holly Gagnier to decide how to play it. In the end, they decided that Willow could have been remembering what happened as she gave her testimony. If so, Willow put on quite the cool and collected performance for the jury. McMullen looks forward to where this story will go next, telling Digest, "It will be interesting to see where the story goes in terms of how much she truly remembers and if she was out of her mind that night." General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, January 8th are all about the trouble at Willow's trial when Drew loses it on the stand, while Trina and Kai come to a shocking realization about the shooting. After nearly proving Michael makes a much better suspect in Drew's shooting than Willow, it still wasn't enough for Drew. Now, he's going to force Alexis to call him to the stand to testify on his wife's behalf and against Michael. When Alexis agrees to the risky move and Drew hits the stand, the GH Weekly Preview already teased the way he'll lash out while being questioned. "You are going to rot in prison!" he'll shout, presumably at Michael. Being at Drew's house the moment of the shooting has been weighing on Trina and Kai, especially when Trina worried the shooter could have been one of her parents. But now that they remember hearing the tune of "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star" after the sound of the gunshots, the couple are certain that it truly was Michael who shot Drew. While Brooklyn catches up with her Uncle Sonny, Dante will have just finished confiding in Lulu about his brother's fate. And it looks like that conversation may end in an admission. Dante's admission could be a plethora of things, from feeling at fault for the way Michael turned out, to desiring relationships with both of his sons, to maybe still having feelings for Lulu. After all, what better time for Dante to realize he's still in love with his ex than when she's starting to get closer to his PCPD partner Nathan? On General Hospital, Acting Police Commissioner Dante noted an egregious error that Nathan made. Nathan admitted that a cigarette butt from a crime scene stayed in his car while he checked on Lulu before he could file it away. Dante realized that Nathan not keeping it on his person at all times broke the chain of custody. Nathan shrugged it off as cobwebs in his head, but Dante didn't. And neither should we. Nathan knows procedure, it's his job. That's why Dante noticed the mistake immediately, and why his reaction matters more than the error itself. This isn't a rookie forgetting a form, it's a seasoned officer sidelining evidence without intending to explain why. Nathan's excuse is a little too tidy. Cobwebs is the kind of word people use when they want something to sound insignificant. A temporary excuse that he played off. Dante didn't buy it, and he shouldn't. He said he wasn't used to Nathan mishandling evidence and asked if everything was okay. Nathan responded that it was a stupid mistake, and Dante replied that he needed Nathan at 100%. Context matters. Anna is gone, and Chase is suspended. The PCPD is on shaky grounds, especially with Willow's case changing daily. Nathan is supposed to be steady, and instead he's off. Not reckless, not dramatic, just misaligned enough to matter. GH has been doing this kind of thing for decades. Faison didn't flip a switch and twirl a mustache. His work showed up in gaps and pauses, in memories that didn't line up with instinct. The show taught us to watch for such details before a disaster. Nathan's lapse fits that pattern uncomfortably well. He didn't forget the evidence exists. He didn't lose it. He simply placed it outside the system for a beat too long. Long enough to make it unusable. Long enough to raise a question. If this is a final project scenario, it isn't sabotage. It's a symptom. The unsettling part isn't that Nathan might be compromised. It's that he might not know it yet. That kind of interference doesn't announce itself. It slips in quietly and rearranges priorities without asking. The show isn't asking whether Nathan broke the rules. That's been settled. It's asking whether the man enforcing them is still fully intact, or whether something old and ugly is deciding what gets logged, what gets lost, and what never makes it into evidence at all. General Hospital's Curtis and Isaiah are at each other's throats, and it will continue until Portia takes a paternity test. Which one of these guys do you prefer? Curtis can be a great guy. He truly loved Portia and was able to overcome the fact that she never told him Trina was his daughter. He was excited when he found out she was pregnant and looked forward to being a dad, even if he and Portia divorced. He's a loving father to Trina and would be to the new baby. Curtis is also extremely self-righteous. He supposedly left Jordan because she lied to him about her job, but he was really already interested in Portia. The Savoy owner judges everyone for their mistakes, but rarely sees his own. If the baby is his, there will be constant drama between him and his ex. He needs to stop flip-flopping between Jordan and Portia. Isaiah arrived in Port Charles as a life-saving hero, but was eventually reduced to the shoulder to lean on, and Portia leaned. He constantly hung around her and listened to all of her marriage problems until she eventually fell for him. The doctor is a nice guy, and fans loved his relationship with Jordan. Unfortunately, when she ended things, he became a bit of a lost puppy. Now, he is Portia's defender. If Isaiah is the baby daddy, things can be wrapped up in a neat little bow. He and Portia can ride off into the sunset and become a happy little family. But that is not how things usually go on GH. More likely, Curtis will be the father, or there will be some paternity test switching in the works. Whatever happens, let's just hope these guys don't kill each other. General Hospital's Alexis went all in on trying to prove that Michael shot Drew, not her client, Willow. The evidence may be piling up, but there is a clue that everyone has missed, which proves Michael's innocence. Despite there being a laundry list of people who hated Drew enough to shoot him, Willow and Michael are the top suspects. Willow is on trial for the shooting, but thanks to Alexis, the spotlight has now been shown on Michael. Alexis ripped apart Michael's alibi and placed him at Drew's on the night of the shooting. However, there is one major clue that everyone in Port Charles has missed. If Michael shot Drew, he would be dead, or at the very least, paralyzed. Michael was raised by Sonny and Jason. They know how to take out their enemies when necessary, and taught Michael the same thing. That was proven when Michael killed Claudia with a bat to protect Carly and baby Jocelyn. Michael wouldn't take the risk of shooting Drew if he wasn't going to finish the job and kill him. Instead, Drew's walking around town, acting like the vile human he is, barking orders and blackmailing anyone he can to get what he wants. There's no way Michael would have botched the shooting this badly to literally have nothing happen to Drew. One GH fan on X was on the same page as us, saying, "Michael did not shoot Drew, man stop the cap, father is Sonny, raised by Jason Emphin Morgan. And you're telling me that boy can't shoot a man at point blank and kill him? Please!" Ever since he returned from Germany, Dark Michael has been front and center, with him channeling his inner Corinthos and devious Quartermain side. The Corinthios and the Quartermain families go for the jugular, and they don't miss, making us convinced Michael isn't the shooter. It seems like GH is either grasping at straws with Michael or leading up to a major twist. Hopefully it's the latter. Spoilers tease that a major twist is coming at Willow's trial, so buckle up, GH fans. General Hospital's Drew was shot back in September, and we still do not know who did it. It's been so long that some fans stopped caring. Almost everyone in Port Charles wanted to shoot Drew and wished that the shooter had done a better job. Drew is the worst, and everyone wants him gone. Suspects were questioned, and the PCPD decided that Willow was the culprit. The trial is underway, and after a humiliating day on the stand, Portia was eliminated as a suspect. Now, it appears that Michael may have been the shooter, but it is unlikely. Someone did it, but after all this time, fans are no longer very interested. They just want the story done so they can move on to something else. Rumor has it that all will be revealed this week. Was it Willow, or Michael, or Curtis, or Danny, or even Scout? Possibly someone else altogether. Unfortunately, many fans are just done with this storyline and would like to see Drew disappear. It's enough already. How can someone be so evil and always end up the winner? One Facebook user put it simply with, "Please, please, please move on. I'm sick, sick, sick of Willow, Drew, and this storyline," exclaimed another. Someone else is ready for the next story. "I'm so sick of that mess. Someone rescue Anna." General Hospital's Christina never learns, and her instincts are terrible. She has once again started trouble, this time for Michael. Christina's heart is in the right place. Well, most of the time anyway. She often thinks she's doing the right thing, such as confronting Ava at the Metro Court to protect her dad. She wound up flying out of a window and lost her baby. On the other hand, Sonny's daughter must have known it was wrong to cut Ava's brakes, but she did it anyway. Offering to be Molly's surrogate was a grand gesture. But then she decided she wanted to keep the baby. The girl cannot get out of her own way, and it looks like she's done it again. Christina wants to help her brother. She was snooping through her mom's files and discovered that Alexis was planning on shifting the blame for Drew's shooting to Michael. Her way of helping was to give Jacinda a bag of cash and ask her to leave town. Once again, she did not think her plan through and failed to confer with anyone before executing it. Where did Christina even get that much cash? She doesn't have a job, and Alexis certainly doesn't leave money lying around the house. Sonny would never have gone along with this scheme. When Michael figured out what Alexis was up to, he wanted to find Jacinda. Thankfully, she didn't execute Christina's plan and went back to court. If she hadn't, she, Michael, and his sister might have wound up in more trouble than they already are. General Hospital has Valentine Cassadine ready to make a deal with Jens Sidwell so he can protect Charlotte Cassadine and get help with getting rid of Jack Brennan. Along the way, Valentine might actually wind up saving Anna Devane as well. We're going to talk about how Valentine throws himself to the biggest bad wolf in Port Charles trying to save those he loves. But he is going to get the shock of his life before all is said and done. Recently, Charlotte went to visit her papa, Valentin, and told him about her creepy run-in with Sidwell. Charlotte told Valentin it was very clear that Sidwell was threatening Ace Cassadine by saying children that age can disappear if you're not watching them. Sidwell was basically threatening Charlotte at the same time. Valentin was really upset when he heard Sidwell threatened his daughter. Valentin knows what Sidwell is capable of and that there are no lines he won't cross. He's more ruthless than Jack by far. Valentin told Charlotte to stay away from Sidwell and not to come back to Carly Corinthos Spencer's. However, Valentin has to know that Charlotte will likely come back. Also, Valentin said to Carly that he needed to leave so Charlotte can't show up and visit him anymore, putting herself on the radar of people like Jack or Sidwell. Valentin needs to keep Sidwell away from Charlotte. He talked to Carly about the danger of Sidwell or even Jack Brennan snatching her. Carly told Valentin that he should form an alliance with Sidwell so that Guy can help them take down Jack. Valentin and Carly's new plan is that instead of him taking off, Valentin is going to stay in Carly's attic while he figures out how to reach Sidwell and convince him they can be allies. Valentin thinks that with Sidwell's assistance, he can expose Jack as the head of pikemen, exonerate himself, and keep Charlotte safe. Sidwell might like a shot at revenge on Brennan because Brennan dropped bombs on his camp in Africa. Sidwell almost died in that attack, and he lost a lot of men, materials, and his entire encampment. Valentin needs to figure out exactly how to go about reaching Sidwell. Valentin used to live at Windermere. Sidwell even brought that up when talking to Charlotte the other day, noting that she used to live on Spoon Island. Valentin knows Spoon Island, the tunnels, the nooks, and the crannies. He surely spent a lot of time exploring and knows where the secret entrances and exits are. I bet Valentin is going to sneak over to the island to see Sidwell by creeping into the tunnels. An official 2026 General Hospital spoiler says Ava Jerome tells Sidwell she saw an interloper on the island. I think it's Valentin she spots on Spoon Island. Once Ava warns Sidwell, he will likely send Pascal to get the drop on Valentin. Sidwell will probably tell Pascal to bring Valentin in without hurting him, because we know Sidwell is interested in working with him. If Pascal finds him, I expect Valentin will go voluntarily because he came there to talk to Sidwell, not to avoid him. Valentin is hoping to work with Sidwell to protect Charlotte. As long as Jack is around, his daughter is going to be an ongoing target to use as leverage against him. And Valentin told Carly he worried that Jack might snatch Charlotte to use as bait. But Carly insisted Jack is not capable of doing that. So, Valentin has known Jack since they were in their 20s, back when they were in WSB training before they both turned to the dark side. Valentin has a much better read on what Brennan is truly capable of than Carly does, because Jack has only shown Carly the better side of himself. Valentin knows all the dirt and where all the skeletons in Brennan's past are buried. If Valentin and Sidwell work together, it could be a win-win. Valentin wants Jack behind bars and would like to be exonerated so he can be free to see Charlotte again. It would be even better if Valentin sees Brennan put down completely, though that might not help exonerate him. The risk with Brennan going to prison is he could try to talk his way out of it like he did before. Valentin thinks Sidwell is his best shot to get what he wants and end this manhunt. Valentin is likely going to make it a condition of working with Sidwell that Charlotte is completely off limits. If Valentin can be of use to Sidwell, he will have peace of mind that the bad guy won't go after Charlotte as long as he is cooperating. While he's there talking to Sidwell and poking around Windermere, Valentine may get more than he bargained for because we know that is where Anna is being held. I can see Valentine being thrown for a loop if he stumbles across Anna. Everybody in Port Charles thinks she's off on a mysterious WSB assignment. Right now, Emma Scorpio Drake, Jack, and others are starting to realize something's not quite right. I suspect Sidwell took Anna hostage in revenge for her role in his camp, getting blown up in Africa. More than that, I think Sidwell's secret partner, the mystery boss who has a big tie to Anna, is involved. The boss is supposed to be revealed in February, while Valentine is lurking on Spoon Island. He may find Anna just as she is making an escape attempt. Sidwell having Anna is going to be a deal-breaker that will probably have Valentine plotting against him. If Sidwell asks him about it, Valentine may have to pretend he doesn't care about Anna because she broke things off with him. He might play dumb or wait until after Sidwell helps him take down Jack. Our leaker told us Valentine Cassadine is only supposed to be on General Hospital through March. That could be enough time to take Jack down, save Anna, and possibly deal with Sidwell. I don't think Valentine cares that much about Sidwell. While they could keep Valentine around longer, the leaker currently says he is not staying that long. It would be amazing if Valentine is the one to save Anna. Valentine is already risking his life to go cut a deal with Sidwell, and we know he will risk anything for those he loves. The 2026 spoilers also say his love for Charlotte could literally be the death of Valentine. I suspect they'll take Jack down because our leaker also teased that Chris McKenna will exit as Jack Brennan in the spring. Maybe he is killed by Sidwell, Valentine, or even Carly. Jack might wind up in Steinmauer, which would be ironic if Valentine is captured and sent back there. They could wind up cellmates at the WSB high-security prison. Watch and see what happens when Valentine heads to Spoon Island to cut a deal with Sidwell. I'm betting that Valentine is going to spot Anna and try to figure out a way to save her. Emma, Max Scorpio, Munstis, and Felicia Scorpio are also part of the effort to save Anna. But I'd like to see Valentine as the hero of her story. General Hospital's Who Shot Drew mystery is about to be solved. Finally, Trina and Kai will put the pieces together and name the culprit. But will they be rewarded for their efforts or be in trouble with the law themselves? Trina and Kai were snooping around Drew's house when they heard the gunshots. Someone tried to kill the much-hated congressman, but they didn't witness who pulled the trigger. Trina was worried that one of her parents was the shooter, so she and her boyfriend kept their whereabouts on the night of the crime to themselves. They have attempted to solve the mystery together, but they were unable to figure it out. But things are about to change. It seems that something will happen during Willow's trial that will jog their memories. They will know who shot Drew and run to Alexis with the information. Odds are that this will end the trial, and Willow will be set free. Trina and Kai save the day and are the heroes of the story. Trina and Kai did not shoot Drew, but they did break into his house, and they stole evidence from his safe. They were also witnesses to the crime, but didn't come forward. This can get them into trouble with both the PCPD and the congressman. Will Drew press charges? He is quite the wild card and can go either way. There will, of course, be anger regarding the break-in, but he may be so grateful that they cleared his precious Willow that he will let it go. The couple might be arrested, but this is the PCPD. They aren't the best police force in the world, especially without Anna at the helm, so the whole thing could easily blow over. The incident might give Trina and Kai a new career goal as private investigators. Port Charles needs a lot of them. On General Hospital, Carly is currently hiding Valentine in her house, working with him to take down Jack, and juggling secrets that would give most people a stress rash. Off-screen, Wright's energy is pointed somewhere far calmer. This week, she and her daughter Lauren stepped away from mob wars and moral gymnastics to talk books, posting a low-stakes, high-charm video that felt less like content and more like a kitchen table check-in, then letting the fans happily pull up a chair. And on Instagram, Wright and Lauren kept it simple, sharing the video with the caption, "Book chats with mom." No hashtags, no pitch, just a simple invitation. Lauren sets the rules right away. I wanted to do a little book video with my mom and talk about our favorite reads from 2025, a read that we are excited to read in 2026, and then one read that we want the other person to read in 2026. She then asked her mom, "First, what is your favorite read from 2025? Wright thought for a moment and then answered, "I think Atmosphere." Lauren responded, "Yeah, that was a good one. Really good." The young woman then continued with, "My favorite book of 2025. I feel like it's tied Kingdom of Ash series as a whole. Best thing that I read all year. But my top book, if I'm picking just one book, is definitely Alchemized." She then asked her mom, "Now what's one book you really want to read in 2026? Wright thought for a moment and said, Conform," Lauren reacted. "Okay, we're gonna co-read it," and Wright agreed. "We're gonna read that one together." Lauren soon jumped in with, "Oh, I heard great things about the Mistborn trilogy, about Red Rising." She then asked Laura, "What's one book you want me to read?" Wright responded, "Untamed." To which Lauren gave a firm no. After laughing, Wright then said, "Oh, the Women or Nightingale, right? Didn't I give them to you? Don't you have them?" Lauren admitted, "I think I got rid of them," causing Wright to shake her head and say, "Oh my God." Lauren then started again, and Wright interrupted her with, "I'm not committing to 8 books." Lauren then explained she wants Wright to listen to Throne of Glass rather than read it. Wright agreed, cautiously. Lauren then sold Direbound with the line that sealed it. "It's like Fourth Wing, but with wolves." Wright took that in and told the camera she's never really been a wolf girl, then shrugged and agreed anyway. Castmates Caitlin McMullen cheered them on with a "yes!" while Nancy Lee Grahn summed it up neatly, "I love you gals together." General Hospital has revealed that there will be an on-air tribute to Luke Spencer, played by the late Anthony Geary. Now, the beloved star's husband, Claudio Gama, is paying tribute to Geary. "Greetings from Amsterdam," Gama began an Instagram post. "Winter days, another long cold day ahead. So much to do and arrange. Some rain and snow is predicted weather-wise. Here are some pictures I found in a drawer. I keep finding memories everywhere in the house. Stay warm, safe, and healthy. Amsterdam Tony Geary, #Maxi26. In the video posted by Gamma, there is a collection of 9 photos of Geary, all from different roles he played in various productions and TV shows. They include Once Upon a Mattress, Bright Promise, The Partridge Family, The Streets of San Francisco, All in the Family, The Children of Paradise, Barnaby Jones, and The American Nightmare. Gamma's post also includes a photo of Geary and the late Tristan Rogers from the early 1980s. Tony was such a sexy, handsome man, and he was so blessed to have you as his lifelong partner. Posted at Coco Vanilla 67. So sad how General Hospital lost so many of their seasoned actors this year, but losing your man hurts deeply. Such beautiful memories, Claudio, shared at Take Two Radio. Thank you for sharing this with us. Memories of an extraordinary actor, the best of the best. And so handsome here too, wrote at The Marketing Brat. Ah. Thank you for showing us these beautiful photos of Tony. Posted at Cheryl5Jeller. He was one of my favorite actors. You were a very lucky man, sharing your life with him. Sending lots of hugs your way. Hope reading everyone's messages gives you comfort during this time. How sweet to find all these memories around, responded at Kaiser. They tug at the heartstrings with joy and grief. Tony is so handsome. You two made such a good-looking couple. You obviously made him so happy, and vice versa. And if a tear escapes your eyes while looking through photos or videos, it's all good. How wonderful to have loved so greatly and been so loved in return. Hugs, Claudio. As painful as it is, there's almost something poetic in a way that Tristan Rogers and Anthony Geary died the same year, offered at Muggsy Sam. Both of them were absolute titans. Not only in daytime television, but they were titans in all of the entertainment industry. Arip to them both. You are a gem, Claudio. Thank you for sharing your memories with us. We are all here for you and Max in any conceivable way that we can be.